Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Jai Guru Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev Sripad, Gurudev Sripad.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev Sripad, Gurudev Sripad.
जय गुरु महाराज शिला श्रीपाद की जय, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गौरताय की जय, श्री गोपाल देव की जय, श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, जय जय श्री श्री राधा माधव की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय,
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय,
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय,
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय,
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नारायण नमस्कृत्य
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया,
नित्यं भागवत सेवया,
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी।
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 5, text number 36. So, let's see our share. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, why to screen desktop? Okay, let us share desktop. Okay, Sanatana Prabhuji, share the sloka. Vishnorva sadhvasau kim no
विष्णोर्वा सद्यसा किन्नु
karishyati asamjasa
करिष्यत्या समञ्जसा
sauhrudam dustyajam pitror
सहृदं दुःसद्यं पित्रो
ahadya panchahayana.
अहाद्या पञ्चहायना.
Translation: although Prahlad is only 5 years old, even at this young age, he has given up his affectionate relationship with his father and mother. Therefore, he is certainly untrustworthy. Indeed, it is not at all believable that he will behave well toward Vishnu. Please repeat. Although Prahlad is only 5 years old, even at this age, he has given up his affectionate relationship with his father and mother. Therefore, he is certainly untrustworthy. Indeed, it is not at all believable that he will behave well toward Vishnu. Text number 37. Paropi apatyam hitakrudiyata yathaushadam swadehajo api amayavat suto hitaha chindyatadangam yadutatmano hitam sesham sukham jivati yadvivarjanat. Translation: although medicinal herb being born in the forest does not belong to the same category as a man, if beneficial, it is kept very carefully. Similarly, if someone outside one's family is favorable, he should be given protection like a son. On the other hand, if a limb of one's body is poisoned by disease, it must be amputated so that the rest of the body may live happily. Similarly, even one's own son, if unfavorable, must be rejected, although born of one's own body. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed all devotees of the Lord to be humbler than the grass and more tolerant than trees. Otherwise, there will always be disturbances to their execution of devotional service. Here is a vivid example of how a devotee is disturbed by a non-devotee, even though the non-devotee is an affectionate father. The material world is such that a non-devotee father becomes an enemy of a devotee son. Having determined to kill even his son, Hiranyakashipu gave the example of amputing a part of one's body that has become septic and therefore injurious to the rest of the body. The same example, of course, may also be applied to non-devotees. Chanakya Pandita advises, Tyaja Durjana Samsargam Bhaja Sadhu Samagamam. Devotees actually serious about advancing in spiritual life should give up the company of non-devotees and always keep company with the devotees. To be too attached to material existence is ignorance, because material existence is temporary and miserable. Therefore, devotees who are determined to perform tapasya, penance and austerities, to realize the self, and who are determined to become advanced in spiritual consciousness, must give up the company of atheistic non-devotees. Prahlad Maharaj maintained an attitude of non-cooperation with the philosophy of his father, Hiranyakashipu, yet he was tolerant and humble. Hiranyakashipu, however, being a non-devotee, was so polluted that he was even prepared to kill his own son. He justified this by putting forward the logic of amputation. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Guru Maharaj Shila Shripad ki jai. Vishnorva sadvasau kimnu karishyati asamjasa sahurdam dustyajam pitror ahadya panchahayanaha. Although Prahlad is only 5 years old, even at this age, he has given up his affectionate relationship with his father and mother. Therefore, he is certainly untrustworthy. Indeed, it is not at all believable that he will behave well toward Vishnu. So, what we are here listening are the thoughts of Hiranyakashipu, or words of Hiranyakashipu, who is very, very envious of the Lord. He has become like an enemy. So, the persisting enmity is a sign of demoniac nature. Because persisting anger is, we can call it as enmity. What is enmity? Enmity is persisting anger. So we should be very careful to guard our mind, to not get into this trap of anger. This trap is there for all of us. It comes more often than less. There are innumerable reasons for us to get upset with somebody, whoever is close, and most of the time it is those who are close to us. So, if we maintain this persisting anger, what will happen? We lose our close people. And in our case, the devotees, the association of the devotees. So, if we are trying to attain the absolute platform, absolutely we should not have any enemies. Even if one is trying to be inimical towards us. So, this is a challenge as well as an opportunity. If we remain on material platform, if we remain on bodily platform, then we get succumbed to this persisting anger. So, in persisting anger, we lose everything. We lose all valuable things. So, in devotional service, what is most valuable is the association of devotees. So, if we maintain this anger, persisting anger, then we are going to lose devotee association, which is the most valuable thing in devotional life. So, therefore, we must keep aside any type of persisting anger. Anger that is more than 1 year old. Anger that is older than 1 month. Anger that is older than 1 day. Anger that is older than 1 hour. And anger that is older than 1 minute. So, how much longer we are able to reduce our anger, that could be a kind of measurement for our progress in devotional service. How long I am holding anger, grudge, enmity in my heart. So we being sadhakas, we cannot be completely free from anger, though that is our goal. But what is possible is reduce this time. So anger more than a few minutes If our anger persists more than a few minutes, then we should know that we are out of track. So therefore, we should carefully guard our anger, because once the anger persists longer, then we lose our memory. We lose memory of what is good for us, who are our well-wisher, who are truly our close people. We forget everything. And then we fall into vicious cycle of this persisting anger. So anger is very interesting. First of all, we get angry because we forget. But krodhot bhavati sammoha, sammoha smriti pramsya. So when we get angry, we further lose all the memory which is useful for us, which is very evident. So first forgetfulness is our forgetfulness of our constitutional position, that mamai vamso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha aham bija pradapitaha. So we are all siblings, all of us together. So therefore, we have forgotten something when we get angry, but it should not last for long. It should be immediately we should come back. That is in our self-interest. What is self-realization? Self-realization is not only theory, but practice, action that is in our self-interest. So what is in our self-interest is to free from anger with anybody. So in anger, we lose all valuable things, even the spiritually valuable things. When we sustain the anger, what will happen? We start seeing our well-wishers also as our enemies, or those who are enemical to us, or those who are against us. This happens, persisting anger. And once this persisting anger continues, then every action appears to be like wearing a red glass. Persisting anger is like wearing a red glass, spectacles. You wear red spectacles, now everything appears red. Similarly, when this persisting anger, if we allow the anger to persist, then it is like wearing a red glass, colored glasses. Then everything we start seeing through that color only. Everything appears to be red tinged. So therefore, even if our well-wisher try to help us, it appears to be something helping our enemy only. So this enemy and friend, this bhav comes. This bhav we have to overcome. So we should be very, very careful with the persisting anger. If you are unable to maintain, if you are unable to give up this persisting anger, then we have failed. We have failed in our sadhana, sadhana bhakti. The sadhana is to reduce this duration, persisting, how long it is persisting, and bring it to just momentarily. Sometimes we may momentarily become angry, but that should be immediately brought back. Here we see our Prahlad Maharaj is giving the best advice. What is the best advice? What is the best subject matter? What is the best thing you have learned? What is the best thing to do? Best thing to do is Shravanam, Kirtana, Vishnu, Smaranam. This is the best. So, though he is the father, the advice is the best. Because he is unable to give up the persisting anger, he become more angry. So anger also extends, right? It's like Vatavruksha or the banyan tree. Banyan tree, it extends its roots and it extends its branches. From their roots comes, they become this one. So in this way, our anger also extends its roots. So much so that we turn our well-wishers into enemies. Not that they are becoming enemies, but we put them in the category of enemies or those who are aggressors, adverse to us. And we see their action in that lens. And we increase our enmity, and after some time it is difficult to tell whom we are more angry, the original person or the later. Like the banyan tree, it extends with various branches and roots. And the roots, they go to the ground and then again they become big trunk. So in due course of time, it is very difficult to tell whom we are actually angry with. Or on whom we have more anger. So in this way, this extends and slowly it destroys everything. A banyan tree, right? In the buildings, the most feared plant is this banyan tree. However great building, however great palace it may be, but if you allow this banyan tree to grow, it will destroy the whole building. After some time, this building won't be visible, only banyan tree will be visible. So therefore, this anger, it destroys everything like this. After some time, none of our good qualities are visible. Everything is covered by this anger. It takes over. So therefore, this anger, we have to work it out. We have to work out, just like body needs workout, our mind also needs workout. And among this is kama, krodha, lobha. Lust, anger, and greed. These are the main three things we should work upon. So in due course of time, what happens? Everybody turns. Everybody is, we lose. When the persisting anger is there, it turns into vengeance, and we somehow want to take revenge. And whoever is coming in between, also we want to take revenge. So in this way, one becomes inimical to everybody. And in due course, one becomes lonely. We become lonely. Because when devotees sees we are beyond correction, so devotees, they stay at a distance. So that is the greatest wealth to lose. So this anger, we must control. Otherwise, even the good advices, they appear to be helping the enemy or partial towards enemy. So we lose all the good connections, good friends, good association. And the very person who is trying to help us, we become angry with that person. Right? This is a blessing of the Lord that we have somebody to give good advice. It is easy to instigate the person into anger, but it is very difficult to pacify the anger person. So those who put more ghee into the anger, they are our true enemies. Right? But those who try to remove anger through spiritual counsel and giving bigger picture and our bigger constitutional position, They are our true friends. But one who is completely overwhelmed by the anger, so what happens? The well-wisher becomes appears to be very inimical. So the strong desire is modified. So in this way, our spiritual life get spoiled, and we should be very careful about this krodha. So much so that here we see he's not able to even spare his own son. You see, who will be more close to father than son on the material platform, right? But the very son appears to be enemy. Prahlad Maharaj is telling that Vishnu is not an enemy. Vishnu is a friend to everybody. So, but when one is completely taken over by this persisting anger, the good advices make the person more angry. And the person who is giving good advice. So therefore, sometimes it is risky to advise one who is maintaining persisting anger. But nevertheless, devotees are very kind, like Prahlad Maharaj. So he has told the best thing, advice. So anger makes us very lose all our memory, all our intelligence and discrimination power, and we act like murkha. Murkh jo hai na, murkh means stupid. We behave very stupid. Because a murkh will become, you give him good advice, he become angry. So here, Hiranyakashipu has become like that because of the persisting anger. Lose all good qualities. He has read all the Vedas. He has so many good knowledge of scriptures. But all misquoting the scripture, misquoting the examples, applying the wrong place. So this is what happens with the anger, applying everything that is not applicable, quoting something from somewhere which is not our standard. Our standard is Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of sacrifice, full of Shanta, serenity. So it is centered around Krishna. Bhoktaram Ignatapasham Sarvaloka Maheswaram Suhrudam Sarvabhutanam. Krishna is well-wishing friend. If Krishna is well-wishing friend, how can we harm anybody? So this is, we need to meditate that if Krishna is friend, how can I harm anybody? If Krishna is a friend to anybody, how will Krishna allow to harm? I will only harm myself. So we should give up such thoughts. So on one hand, he is kind of glorifying at even at the age of 5 is a boy at the age of 5 is not able to show affection, but in fact, he's showing a lot of affection to parents. He's humble. He's telling what is good at the same time. He's humble, like Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport that he is humble. Prahlad Maharaj maintained an attitude of non-cooperation with the philosophy of his father. He did not cooperate with the philosophy. Yet he is tolerant and humble. But as a son, he is humble and tolerant to cooperate with him in action. In action pertaining to father and son, but not when it contradicts to Lord Vishnu. To give up, that is unable to, because he is already lost in Vishnu. So it is very important that we can maintain disagreement on certain points, but we cannot maintain enmity, we cannot maintain grudge, we cannot maintain enmity. So if we maintain that, we will get some happiness, right? We get some happiness by maintaining enmity with our adversaries. But that is happiness in ignorance. Because in the beginning, it looks very nice to maintain enmity with the adversaries. But in due course of time, it turns into great spoiler in our devotional service, devotional journey. But if we come to mode of goodness, try to maintain peace, and we transcend the mode of goodness also and establish ourselves in the transcendental platform, that for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, I must tolerate. How we learn tolerance is this way only. And try to be humble and follow whom I am supposed to follow. As soon as we get little anger, we disagree and then stop accepting instructions from the superiors. So this is not going to take us anywhere. It is only going to harm us more than we think. It slowly puts us away. So in this way, anger is very it takes away our discrimination power. So he's treating, actually Prahlad Maharaj is a healing herb, not only in his family, for the entire human society, not only at that time, but for the ages to come. We are reading Prahlad Maharaj episode now because he is healing herb from our kama, krodha, lobha. Our mind is hijacked by lust, anger and greed. Prahlad Maharaj is a herb, healing herb. But because he is lost, demoniac quality. To maintain persisting anger is a demoniac quality. That's what defines demons. And it is born of false ego. So therefore, he is not able to see the healing herb. He is seeing the herb as poison and poison as healing herb. So this is mode of ignorance. So if we maintain the demonic qualities, then we will be gone to the mode of ignorance and go to darkest regions of the creation. Because anger has such capacity, power, potential. And Krishna, and we have the potential to overcome such potential anger. That is the greatness of devotional service. That is the potential we have. Anger has such a potential that it can ruin anybody in these three worlds. But as a practicing devotees, we have more potential to subdue this anger in the association of proper devotees. Who are proper devotees? Those who don't put ghee in our fire, anger. We are already angry in nature and somebody is putting ghee. So we should know who is true friend and true enemy. And that we will only know if we prioritize what is important in our life. What is my goal in life? So this anger has greatest potential to destroy us, but we have the potential to overcome the anger. Krishna says there is no one free from the three modes in this world, on this planet or in the higher planets. Everyone is under the three modes. So anger, anger comes, but only exception are the devotees. Only exception are the devotees, even among the transcendentalists. Unless one truly gets to the devotional spirit, the anger comes and persists. So devotees, they don't get angry at all. Advanced devotees are those who are progress sufficiently, they don't maintain the anger. But if you are not progressed devotional service sufficiently, then we maintain the anger. We maintain grudge. We want to take revenge someday when it comes. But the devotees, they depend on the Lord. Like Ambarish Maharaj, he is great king. Durvasa Muni, he became angry for having no fault of his. Though he didn't have any fault, he didn't retaliate or because a mendicant on a higher position, even if he is not a mendicant also, he would have not responded in anger back for Ambarish Maharaj. So therefore, nobody is free from this anger in these three worlds, but a devotee is free from this anger. And the proof that we are becoming devotee is we reduce this anger, able to see through the eyes of Guru and Krishna. If Krishna is Suhruda, why I cannot become Suhruda to everybody? This is a challenge to all of us. We are like challenges. If we want to take any challenge, this is a challenge that we should take. If Krishna has good heart for everybody, why not I? I can also become good heart to everybody. I don't need to keep any feelings in my heart. So then only we become equal to everybody. And such a devotee is very dear to Krishna. And then only we become very dear to Krishna. The more we maintain this anger, persisting anger, the more we lose Krishna's affection. Krishna's affection is there, but we keep ourselves away. We cannot go near Krishna. Right? Imagine a great personality maintain enmity with his son and try to get close to him. Are this possible? I try to take revenge on the son and become close to the father. Right? For example, chief minister, there are prime minister or somebody great minister. Fighting with his son, harassing him or trying to reduce him and try to become friends with the father. It is not going to work out. Similarly, devotional service means you want to become close to Krishna. And if you maintain enmity with his children, all the living beings, bad feelings, then we cannot become close to Krishna. Not possible. We are dear. There are so many things Krishna says dear, but we have to overcome the adversary situations and become close to Krishna. Yeah, we should think, if I become angry with the son of Krishna, will Krishna be happy? If I become angry with the son of my spiritual master, will he be angry? So this is called intelligence. And if you want to really become close, then forgive. Right? The minister's son is there, he has done something wrong to you, but you forgive him. Then minister will say, oh, he's very nice. Though my son has harmed him, he did not harm him back. So I would like to do something special to him. That is how we receive special mercy of the Lord. So even if our fault is not there, even if somebody has done something wrong to us. But if we forgive, then Krishna will think, oh, he has done this for me. So let me do something special for this devotee. This is how we can attract attention of Krishna. Not by numbers, not by, of course, they help us to stay focused in our seva. But anger is the greatest spoiler. It spoils all the numbers. It makes all the numbers zero and slowly minus whatever we gained. Goodwill, everything is lost in anger. So therefore, we must be very, very careful. If you are serious in devotional service, give up anger to anybody. Try to embrace everybody in the heart. Then our heart will become soft flower, like Prahlad Maharaj, like Ambarish Maharaj. Otherwise, we are Trigunya Vishya Veda. There are so many scriptures dealing with the three gunas, dealing with politics, dealing with so many other things. But Prahlad Maharaj did not like the politics. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? His father arranged to teach politics to Prahlad. But Prahlad Maharaj did not like politics because politics involves treating somebody as friend and enemy. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. If we are students of Srimad Bhagavatam, we should be also in the same league. If you want to get liberation, means you want to place among the Bhagavatas. That means we have to get these qualities. Seriously try. If you don't even try, then you will not be considered as a candidate. If somebody seriously tries and fails, he will be considered or he will be given extra mercy. But if you don't even try and if you are lost in this anger, then we don't fit in the company of the Bhagavatas. If we do politics, if we make groups, friends, enemies, then we very much fit or very much deserve to be here, where we have all these parties, friends, enemies, groups. If this is our enjoyment, then this is our right place and we continue to be here. But if we want place among the Bhagavatas, then we must give up this anger. This is more important than any numbers in seva, giving up the anger. So if our heart becomes so clean that it has no enmity with anybody, then Govinda comes to take rest there. Otherwise, so many unwanted things rest there in our heart. Enmity, the old things revolving around in the mind. So this forgiveness we have to cultivate. So we have to become students of Srimad Bhagavatam, not the students of other scriptures, which deal with the three modes. Yeah, in that there are some portions which are transcendental, but we are not still Paramahamsas to separate. Mostly we catch the garbage. So better we stick to Srimad Bhagavatam and learn Bhagavatam very nicely and pick the transcendental things. And take the example of these great examples of forgiveness, not the examples of taking revenge from other scriptures. And here we have seen Prahlad Maharaj is very humble, tolerant. These are the qualities of a devotee which are very dear to Krishna. So therefore, human life should be utilized for this purpose, because that gives the place for us among the Bhagavatas. And that makes us very dear to the Bhagavatas, very dear to the Lord, very dear to the spiritual master. Otherwise, numbers will help to come close to certain distance. But if you don't change our character to Suhrudam, being having good heart for everybody, that is our Gurudev Srila Sripad. Greatest compliment that Srila Prabhupada gave is, Swarup Damodar is such a nice devotee. He only makes friends, not enemies. This should be our goal. We should only make friends, not enemies. Of course, even then some people will become enemies. But that is not in our hands because people have their own calculations. They always look from the glass, red glass. But from our side, we should always try to make only friends. Then we are in the line of Bhakti Swarupa, Srila Shripad. So that is our line, not to make enmity with anybody. And Guru Maharaj is very particular about this anger. If you want to become dear to Guru Maharaj, overcome the anger. At least to his dear servants, to his servants. So this is our homework, or this is our life's works, which we have to all work. Then we become devotee from demonic quality. We have to overcome this demonic quality. So Srila Shripad, his example is a great blessing for all of us. We should carry his example in our heart. We carry Shripad in our heart. So when our nature comes out, it passes through the prism of Srila Shripad. Right? We have our emotions. We have our anger. But when that comes out, if we have Srila Shripad in our heart, then it will go through the prism of Shripad. And Srila Shripad, by his example, we can deflect all other colors and the most pleasant color comes out. So in this way, we conduct ourselves. Then it will become our nature very soon. So thank you all for your audience and patience. If there are any questions, please come forward.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for this nice and wonderful class. Yeah, if anyone is having any questions regarding today's class, they can raise the hand and ask His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj, I have a question.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, this tolerance is not that easy in practice, and while tolerating or while trying to tolerate, like we will be having lot of rupture. So how to handle that situation, because one side we are facing the difficulty and the other side we don't want to leave the situation or leave the devotee that we are with. So how to go through that?
Our pujaris, they wake up very early morning in Radhakund and do arati to Guru Maharaj. A lot of cold is there, right? Very uncomfortable. But they're able to tolerate. How they're able to tolerate? Because there is some higher happiness by pleasing Guru Maharaj, by giving nice arati. So similarly, though there may be rupture, but if we focus only on the rupture, then where is our Krishna consciousness? Where is Krishna in the rupture? Krishna is gone. Guru Maharaj is gone. So just like the cold, though it is there, you transcend it. So the rupture is there, you can transcend it if we bring in Krishna, bring in Guru Maharaj into the picture, bring Guru Maharaj into your mind, and you tolerate it for his pleasure. It becomes very happy. You become very happy. So even in the seva, there are so many difficulties come. But in spite of that, when you do it, you experience transcendental pleasure while doing it, not only after doing it, while doing it. So, even if there is rupture, you tolerate it for what? For Guru Maharaj. Right? Like imagine you have your elder brother, some younger brother is there, 5 years younger. So younger brother come and slap you before your mother. So what do you do? You have pain, you can slap back or tolerate it, and the mother will embrace you for your love for your mother, because not slapping back your brother is not only about you and your brother, it is also about your mother, right? So rupture which we have the devotee is not only about me and him. Guru Maharaj is there, Krishna is there. So for their pleasure we tolerate, then they will embrace us. So what do you want? You want the pain of rupture or you want the embrace of the Guru and Krishna? Choice is yours. If you embrace rupture, then continue here in the 3 modes. But if you embrace Guru and Krishna and tolerate it, then you get transcendental happiness which you cannot describe. So this is what we have to practice. Replacing the happiness based on the 3 modes to happiness based on transcendental relationships. So before that happiness, this happiness becomes like a, calf's footprint. That's how we cross over. If the transcendental happiness is removed, this becomes so much big happiness, we get lost. So don't focus only on the rupture. Bring in Guru Maharaj. What Guru Maharaj wants you to do. You want to increase the rupture or decrease the rupture? And Guru Maharaj wants to decrease the rupture. He said, if somebody become angry, you don't become angry. Otherwise, it will become a big explosion. And we don't want big explosions. Guru Maharaj doesn't want big explosions. It is not the question of who is right or who is tolerating. He got the mercy. So you want the mercy or you want the revenge? The choice is yours. So rupture, when we bring in Guru and Krishna in picture, more the rupture, more the happiness. So this is a little bit very difficult stage, but that's what human life is for. Transform our spiritual transformation. Spiritual transformation we have to undergo. This spiritual transformation is to see from our constitutional position, our relationship. Where are you basing your relationships? Only those which you are seeing before your eyes, are those which are beyond your eyes, that is Guru and Krishna, who are always watching us, who are counting us. We are claiming to be their disciples, their followers. Krishna devotee, Sripad disciple. This is what we claim, right? So we claim to be there, but we don't keep them in our mind, in our actions, then is not justified. So we get mercy from the Lord. Example, we have already told several times that Guru Maharaj has so much pain that he cannot tolerate. Then Rajendra Maharaj asked, Maharaj, we are taking so much pain. Do you need to do all these things? Guru Maharaj said, this is not pain, this is pleasure. Because his mind is in Prabhupada. That even in this difficult situation, Srila Prabhupada is giving me opportunity to do seva, to tolerate. So if there is the devotee's prayer is that if somebody disturbs, give me enough strength to tolerate. This is divine quality. And the demonic quality is give me enough strength to take my revenge. This is divine and demonic qualities. So what we are praying for? We are praying to take revenge, or we are praying to give tolerance? Which category are we? Which category we want to be? So be in the category of tolerance, tolerating. Have good heart. Keep Guru Maharaj in the heart. So that way, Guru Maharaj will embrace us. Otherwise, we are embraced by the rapture, and it is very, very suffocating. And we can very easily forget this rapture by remembering Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Maharajji. Our Balramji is having a question. Yes, Balramji, please.
Hare Krishna Maharajji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Balaram. Balaram is very angry. No? You see,
Yes.
very interesting. Balaram always shows anger, but Krishna is there
Yes.
always to cover
Yes,
up.
Maharajji. Balram has spiritual anger, but I have material anger. Yeah, I have a similar question. So we have this Sada Ripus, the 6 enemies, Kama, Krodha, Lova, Moha, Mad, Matsarya. So it seems the Kama is the only source of, Kama is the only
Source of Krodha.
source of Krodha. The others are the Kama is the source of other Ripus also, because when you say Lova, Moho, Mada, Matsarya,
they're all in line.
These are also generated because of the Kama. And they also lead to anger. Yeah. So that means the anger or Krodha is basically having the source in all these 5. So Krodha has its source. Main source is Kama, but in between we have Lova, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. So you correctly, very nicely explained the Krodha we have to tolerate. But here the question comes, we have 2 different types of Krodha. So let's say we say material anger and spiritual anger. So you told Balram has the anger, yeah. So that was spiritual anger. But how do we distinguish? And if we have to tolerate, so there is no question of tolerating spiritual anger. We can let it grow. There is no problem. But when we come to material anger, that we have to tolerate. So how do we distinguish first which one is spiritual, and how do we?
In our stage, we don't need to distinguish. We don't need to get angry at all.
Yeah.
Right? In order to get to spiritual anger, first you have to tolerate the material anger. Otherwise, we also use the spiritual reason to become materially angry. So
because when we do something, let's say in this having this conditioned soul in this state, any desire comes from the conditioned state. So even if the desire can be spiritual or material. And how do we filter out the spiritual desire from it?
Yeah, you have to always ask the question, who is the beneficiary? Filtering out means you are looking to only do spiritual desire, right? Not material desire.
Yes, yes.
Then you have to see from your action or certain thing which you desire. You have to see who is the beneficiary. Are you the beneficiary? Somebody done some harm to you. So now you have a desire to reply back. Is it spiritual or material? So now who is the beneficiary? You are
So
the
we-
beneficiary, right?
Maharaj, we have to look at also materially or spiritually we are looking at. We have no...
No material, no spiritual. Who is the beneficiary? Is a simple question. Because you want to simplify, is a simple question. You have to put this question. Who is the beneficiary? You are the beneficiary. You want to take revenge. And does Guru Maharaj wants, does Krishna wants to take revenge? This is the question you have to ask. Whether I want or is Krishna want? Or Guru Maharaj wants. So if Guru Maharaj wants you to take revenge, I don't think so. They are teaching us to tolerate. They have put this Prahlad Maharaj example in the Bhagavatam for us to learn. So we don't think they want us to take revenge. So therefore, I am the beneficiary because I get some pleasure by taking revenge. That is our whole pleasure, no? In material, what is material existence? Kama, Krodha, Lova. Either sense gratification or ego. I am the best, or I take revenge. Krodha, Kama, Krodha. This is our happiness. So therefore, you are the beneficiary, not Sri Guru. So therefore, it is material. And if you allow it to grow, it is like banyan tree. It will take over. It will take over you, and you lose all good things, all good association, all good friends, all good devotees association. Because our intention will be known sooner or later. In the beginning, we may play victim card, right? But victim card, how long it will work? Our intention will be known. So devotees will keep themselves distance. So the simple answer is, who is the beneficiary? And before we exercise spiritual anger, first get rid of all anger. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yes, we have one more question by Madan Manohar Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you are asking question after a long time. I feel privileged. I don't know question or comment. Please come. Please continue.
The thing is, I mean, like we say Premanjana, right? Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochana. You have love, you apply the salve of love, you can always see the Lord, you can always see Guru in your heart. But, certain circumstances, it becomes like that, that, instead of this Prema Anjan, we are having Krodha Anjan or, Kama Anjan or so many other different types of Anjans. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So this is not always that happens, because as devotees, we are kind of, how do you say, we are trained not to apply all these Anjans. But still, sometimes certain situations, they become, like intolerable or something like that. And then, people somehow, the devotees somehow, they start putting on all these Anjans. So in this kind of situation, what would you suggest to them? Or what would be your advice to them?
We have to remove that Anjan, no? Who will remove? Only we have to remove Anjan. Because our free will is there. So association can help, but it's like when we wear that Anjan, no, it is like looking from the glasses, red glasses. Everybody appears to be red. Even those who are trying to help, they appear to be adversaries. So therefore, this Krodha should be given up altogether. This should be our bottom line. This should be our. This we should keep it as a fundamental principle.
Okay.
So if we don't do that, then we as a devotee introspection, we have to see, I am unable to give up this anger. So therefore, I am not on proper platform. So I should come back to proper platform. Otherwise, it will only degrade us further.
What if people are sticking on to that thing, Maharaj? Then what happens? I mean, like, because sometimes they try, but the past conditioning is so, how do you say, for many, many years, they have cultivated that thing, it's not so easy to give up. So in that case, what would you suggest to them? I mean, like,
It is
we
not
say
easy, but nothing is difficult in Krishna consciousness. Is it easy to give up parents?
it's very difficult, Maharaj.
We have
Yeah,
given
that
up.
is true.
We have given up and came here for Guru Maharaj. We have applied greater premanjana dhyana, affection for our parents. So our love for our Guru should be greater, stronger than any other force in our mind.
Okay,
So
Maharaj.
by keeping Gurudev in our heart, we can overcome anything. What we cannot overcome? We can overcome this entire sansara. What is this anger? Nothing. So we should bring in spiritual master, Guru. Krishna conscious, Guru conscious. So if we are only remain our consciousness, conscious of my thoughts, then where is Krishna consciousness? If I am only conscious of my thoughts, then I am already lost. If I am unable to control anger, then I should understand I am lost. So I need to take shelter under somebody who is not taken or who is not hijacked by anger. I don't say fully free from anger because it is possible sometimes. We may see devotees become anger, but persisting anger, one should not be under persisting anger. So one should seek help of other devotees. Yeah, we should seek help. We cannot. But it is a vicious cycle. It goes. The more we delay, it goes. We may go into the point of no return. When we go to the point of no return, then we are lost. Panasyati. The point of return is our real danger. So before we go to point of no return, better we return before. If it is before to, you are going to edge before completely fall into the. This one, we better come back before that. Take shelter. Take help of those who reduce our anger, not those who increase our anger. So this Bhagavat will help us. Devotee association will help us. Good words. Otherwise, our all devotional spirit, all our devotional mood will be lost. What could be more bigger loss? And the devotional spirit is lost. Everything is lost. The only thing remaining is just anger. We're not going to help oneself unto others. Instead of we become a helping hand, we become a disturbance. So those who are really have their self-interest, they must put away this anger. We can see the anger because when it is persisting, we can see. When we become angry, momentarily we don't know that we are angry, but we act angrily. But after some time, we realize, oh, I became angry. At that time, we should take action. But if one doesn't take action even at that time, to come back, then it's really a very unfortunate situation. Sometimes we learn only through consequences, which could be very, very far out, spreading to more than lifetime. And that may even decide our next life also. Our greatest emotion in us, that will decide our next life. So if the anger becomes the greatest emotion, that will decide our next life. And we will get a life suitable to show anger and so like that. Like the snakes are there. They become angry for no reason and they bite people. So much envious. It is because of persisting anger. We have to control. Whether Krishna will give you a body, we can always show anger. There are so many living entities, right? Which are very angry, very aggressive. So we don't want that kind of life. We want a devotional life. So, greatest emotion in us is going to decide our next life. And we want to make Guru and Krishna the greatest emotion in our heart. This we have to guard. We have to become Mali, gardener of our heart. Make Sri Guru as the greatest emotion. Krishna is the greatest emotion in the heart. That is how we cross over all the unwanted things. Especially anger is anger is more dangerous than the kama. The krodha is the next level of kama. If you see krodha, behind every krodha there is some strong false ego is there. False abhiman, false strong desire to. So this anger we should really work upon. Otherwise we will not have any friends. We lose all friends because with everybody we will be angry at some point. Something because everything will not go in our way with everybody. But that we have to tolerate. And things doesn't go in our way. And that is our testing times. That they are the defining times of our character. They are defining times of our taking turn in our journey towards transcendence or towards to matter. Embrace matter or embrace the lotus feet of Guru and Krishna. There is a choice we have. Free will. So we should work on that and come out to be truly embraced by the Lord. Otherwise, everybody appears to be enemy in due course of time, like banyan tree. And in due course, we don't know whom actually we are angry upon, the original person or the somebody else, So anger has such fallouts and life will become very miserable. Anything you want to please add, Prabhuji?
No, Maharaj, thank you. This is very enlightening.
Please forgive me anything wrong.
No, you said the truth. Yeah, one has to accept if it is on the truth.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So anyone else? Anyone wants to add, please come forward.
Or Govind Maharaji. Yes, Maharaji, please.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam, all those sisters.
Dandavat Pranam, Maharaj.
It was always expected to be that absorbing, because the thought was very deep and all the times Guru Maharaj's presence was very much reflected. So that was very wonderful. And our Madan Manohar Prabhu, he brought a little good twist. Maharaj, my question is the source of Krodha is kama, or unfulfillment of it, or blockage of it. And as you rightly said that it is more dangerous. It's worse than karma because it is a transformed karma, isn't it? We can say. But many times we see that when it is described that 10 times karma is a krodha in appearance, because it's a evolved form of karma. 10 times that is lobha. So in the stage of lobha, a person is able to tolerate anger, apparently. And 10 times lobha is moha, then mada and matsarya. So ultimately when we describe this envy is like the 6th level cancer which cannot be recovered from. So it has to be completely given up. But we are just, today you express the 2nd stage of cancer, First stage is just karma. If it can be curtailed, then krodha becomes manifest, very dangerous. My question is the feeling of anger, if it is only the concept that if other person is a beneficiary, then we are allowed to show the anger, or but not self-centered or something we are trying to fulfill our ulterior motive. But, if somebody is falling into a ditch, then we can just push him with anger. You don't know what you are where you are walking, and then he will feel that our becoming angry is a boon for him rather than for our own self-centeredness. So that kind of anger is allowed. When beneficiary is the other person, but overall the very swarup of the very form of anger is dangerous, as Krishna says. It's all devouring and most fearful and most sinful thing to do. One example I give, then you give the answer. Example is that anger is compared to like the appearance of a snake. Although the snake has not come, but if somebody says, "Oh, snake is here," everybody will run out. So even flickering momentary growth in someone, it makes everything so distasteful, because we now see the dangerous part of the person who shows anger. So anger by itself is not good, but still anger is an emotion and it can be used in Guru Gauranga's service. So if that is the only focus, but still you gave such amazing, elaborate and all-encompassing dissertation on anger management. So that was most heartening to hear. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Do I need to say anything?
Of course. How we judge, because sometimes oneself becomes the judge whether he justifies anger or not. So what is the limit on to what extent? Because any emotion, it cannot be just we cannot artificially just not express it, because greater than expressing is the one is holding back or holding within. So within anger is more dangerous than just spurting out. Sometimes, ultimately, it has to be uprooted. So sometimes not expressing doesn't mean that one has become free from anger. What is the remedy?
Yeah, not expressing but working on it is not good, but not expressing and not acting on working on it, that is what. If you are getting angry but not acting upon that, then that is recommended, because that is the sadhana. But not showing anger but inside making plans to take revenge, that is not good. But trying to tolerate, not expressing, that is what we have to do in the sadhana stage.
Can one be angry at oneself that he is angry?
One has to become angry at oneself.
Okay, so that's the. I think that's a good.
We can turn anger to ourselves. So how stupid I have become myself. How I became angry. We can become angry that I became angry. That means we are really serious about our anger. So, but correcting the friends, somebody going wrong way, we have to be really well-wisher, not bringing any harm. So also we have to be little choosy also how the person is taking. So depending on how close one is, one has to adopt different means. And when one is close enough, he can see the love behind the anger also. But if one is not close enough, then he will only misunderstand. So therefore, in the beginning, when the devotees come close to spiritual master, he may appear to be all praising, right? All encouraging, all what you say, all positive remarks, glorification, all glorification. So, but that is because we are not close enough. So if you are close enough, then when spiritual master is confident that he is close enough and he loves, then he can show anger. Then he will show anger. and then we will understand. So, but otherwise, without having enough closeness, enough love between the two people, anger can be misunderstood. So, but we can show anger when it is very evident that beneficiary is the person whom we are showing the anger. Right? If somebody is by mistake taking dangerous path, which is very evident, which we don't need to make, which we don't need to prove. So that time, if you show anger, it is easy to understand. But if you show anger, which things are difficult to show, to be understood, or if the person is not in proper consciousness, then anger could be misunderstood, and it may bring about the opposite result. So therefore, anger is always a risky business. So for us is better. What could be done with by showing anger? We can do it by showing love and concern and requesting. So in general, we can take this requesting mode. We can get into, instead of angry mode, we can get into request mode, prayer mode. We can request everybody. Right or wrong, we want something. That is a safe place to not lose a friendship or close relationships when they are not fully, then they are not mature enough. A child who is not mature enough, keep chastising all the time. You become very uncorrectable. You will go fully out of the command of father. But a grown-up son, when he is mature enough, he understands. But in an immature stage, a child may take to different route. And when one is mature enough, he will be able to properly take. So therefore, we have to judge also. Though we are beneficiary, we cannot show anger. But the same thing can be done in a different way, in a requesting mode or in a different way. We have to judge the person, whether he is able to understand the motivation or not. If one is not understanding the motivation, then at the best we can just request, make prayer. Ultimately, it is for his benefit, not for our benefit. Our benefit is also there. If he is nice, we want to see benefit, but it is for his benefit. But in general, we have to also see our position, whether I am in a position to show anger, correcting. So that position also we have to see. Even if we have the position also, we have to think through 3 times. Even if it is for his benefit, whether it will be properly understood or not. Is it fully evident or not? Otherwise, there is every chance to mistake or misunderstand. So the safe is not to become angry. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I think our Nikhil has one question to ask.
Yes,
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavad Pranam.
Dandavad Pranam, Nilmadhu Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So I have one question, like in relation to angry only, like in the angry upon oneself about his mistakes. In that, I have like I found there are 3 classes of mistakes. One is like once in a while mistake, so that we can correct. Another one is mistake done in need, so that also we can correct, modify. But I found like recurring class of mistakes are very difficult to take care or like it takes what it mistakes happen again and again in the same mistake again and again. Like there are some mistakes, recurring mistakes, it's happened again and again. So how actually we can take care of that, like how we can modify or how we can
Yeah, that time you should not become angry, you should become sympathetic. how vulnerable I have become. So I need help. So anger with oneself or with anybody, it should be only momentary. It should not be lasting, not persisting. So you can become upset yourself. Oh, I am such a nonsense. That is also kind of anger, that kind of thing. But repeatedly, if you are unable to, if you are becoming something, we should be sympathetic to ourselves. Also, not only become angry with ourselves, we should become sympathetic also ourselves and seek help and also forgive ourselves. We should not only forgive others, we should forgive others. Okay, this is my state. Okay, let me take humble position and behave accordingly. Right? Krishna is Dina Dayal. The more we are Dina, he is more Dayal. Provided we are humble enough to our position. You are fallen at the same time arrogant. Then it is double impact. On one side we are fallen, on the other side we are arrogant. So that is very difficult to be helped. So therefore we should seek help, remain humble to our. In fact, the more and more we see our mistakes, the more and more we are progressing. The more and more we see our mistakes, then we realize, oh, this is my mistake. So we become more humble. So seeing our mistakes is a good thing. That will make us humble and keep us in good company. Then we feel the need of association. So if we make mistake at the same time, if we are not seeing the mistakes, then we won't be humble and we don't see the need for association. So we isolate ourselves. So that is not very good. We should seek guidance, we should seek help, we should seek association. And that way we can go forward. And we should know that we are fallen. And we will not be able to fully recover, but we should never give it up. At least we can improve. We may not be able to fully free, but we should improve ourselves. Better than 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago. Am I bettering? So that we at least we can do. Maharaji, please.
There's a new word we rejoice. Better is a word. Better.
That is your blessing, Maharaji. I think we have heard from you only.
Well, Nikki's question is very practical. Actually, one should cry.
Exactly. Very wonderful, Maharaj.
Being
nice.
sympathetic is all I in the name of sympathy, people just then become more intelligent.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
One should cry that how blessed is my Sri Guru. How blessed are the devotees. How can I be so pathetic? You know, the word pathetic and apathetic, they appear to be like opposite, but they have the same meaning actually. I couldn't understand the difference between the two. Because ultimately, what we are up to, this question must be asked again, compared to what we should be up to. So their self-introspection will tremendously help. Guru Maharaj always used to say that one should self-introspect. It's quite possible. One should not always should give the benefit of doubt to others, but about oneself, one should be introspective. That maybe I could be not 100% correct, because only on the liberated platform, one should be at least able to imitate. So if you think the Guru Maharaj is a fully liberated person, but in its action, when it came to introspection, Guru Maharaj would act the way a conditioned soul is supposed to act and think if he wants to improve. Conditioned soul, one who does not want to improve, then he's lost. But the conditioned stage, sadhaka stage means we are moving from condition to liberated. But even liberated souls, they are demonstrating. They are not thinking only that only I am right. Something could be there for me to improve. So that is the attitude of a liberated person. So in conditions that we can at least try to imitate that. Certain imitations are not bad. And in relation to Krishna and Sri Guru, imitation will take us to that transcendent absolute platform. Otherwise, in the world, imitation is not good. But in relation to Krishna, if one identifies that I'm a pure devotee, I want to become a pure devotee, then that thought, that imitation, if sustained for long enough, it will make one a pure devotee.
Wonderful,
I want to endear myself to Guru Maharaj. I want to become very dear to Guru Maharaj. So this acknowledgement that I have to become means I have not become yet enough. So that acknowledgement will help one. And if one cultivates inside this thought that I'm a pure devotee, I'm dearest to Guru Maharaj, it comes with lot of package, Maharaj. You know? Means one has to then prove. He will be trapped by his own very high standard, and that's why it's not easy to perform or to deliver what we think we are. Self introspection will tremendously help, but one should definitely cry. And Mahaprabhu came to make us cry, make us means teach us how to cry the right way. One should cry about one's pathetic situation, that one is not able to improve by his own endeavor. So Krishna, please help me out. Cry out to Guru Maharaj. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Sindhu. I think that song, if our what is Pitambar Prabhu, if he sings, that would be the perfection of the icing on the cake of this most amazing, wonderful class. Pitambar is available.
Our Pitambar Prabhu is available.
We have our Srikant Prabhu's hand raised.
Of course.
Yeah, Srikant Prabhu, please.
Thank you, Maharaji, for giving such a nice class on anger management. I think this is the best class on anger management.
Thank you, Prabhuji, your blessings.
I
Maharaj
will
blessings.
request someone to archive it and transcribe it, because Maharaji covered the nuances of anger and anger management. Thank you again and again. And yes, anger actually spoils the wisdom. So it's the lust, the pratishtha. So that's why when even a devotee is doing a wonderful job, we find flaw. Like our Shamchandra Prabhuji was doing such a wonderful job during Vyas Puja, and I unnecessarily went it down. I like to publicly apologize to His Grace Shamchandra Prabhuji.
It's very magnanimous gesture from your side.
So
acknowledge.
So I like to say that it was wonderful, and please forgive me for all my offenses. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Shamchandra Prabhuji, want to hear from you. Prabhuji is.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavad Pranam, Jai Shila Sripad Maharaj, Jai Shila Prabhupada, my Dandavats to all of you.
Srikant Prabhu needs your good embrace.
My embrace, loving embrace is there for everyone. All my God brothers and God sisters, my loving embrace is always there for everyone. And if I have done something, erroneously hurt anyone's feelings during the Vyas Puja, I take this as a platform to apologize, including Srikant Prabhu also. Sometimes I told the same thing to our Rajendra Swami Maharaj. Sometimes in the heat of things, our tempers do flare, but there's nothing personal. It is all on the particular moment because certain actions have to be completed. And, and as part of the responsibilities we all need to fulfill, at some point we need to, pull the strings as well. So, but as devotees, our heart is like butter. We have to melt, and we are soft. And at the end of the day, we are all loving brothers and sisters for each other. And I just wanted to say your class was wonderful. As Srikant Prabhuji summed up very well, it's like an anger management class. And I just want to add one last point on this. That is, it is said that anger is one word short of danger. Okay, so if we continue to be angry, then we are actually heading towards danger. So that is the the bottom line. But this is with lot of different aspects of Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj. You have very nicely summed up in the class. And at some point, I think we should make some PPTs on anger management and all that, because this should be also part of our apart from the Bhagavatam class, we can make some PPTs for general masses, corporates and all that, which will help to people to come out of this common disease of anger, because everybody seems to be angry at every point of time. So anyway, your class was very wonderfully, the flow was very good, and I really enjoyed every moment of it. I was in the office for the last 1 hour, and I was trying so much of work pressure, and I want to exit, but I was not able to exit because it's so much, tempting to hear more and more and more. And also when our Govind Swami Maharaj was, beautifully explaining some of the aspects, it was really keeping me engrossed. So thank you very much, Maharaj, once again. And Srikant Prabhuji, my hug is always there for you. A loving hug.
Thank you very much.
Well,
you will exit very soon.
Hare Krishna.
I have one reflection, if I'm allowed. We sang that song, and it was my strong desire. And actually, Maharaj,
our Amrita Mataji has raised her hand. We'll quickly hear from her, and then we'll go to Sang from our Pitambar Prabhuji.
Pranam Maharaj Ji, Pranam Shri Guru Maharaj, and Pranam all the Maharaj and devotees, and Hare Krishna. Yeah, it's a very nice class, and very wonderfully you elaborated how we have to manage our anger, and really how it will how in that heart the Shri Guru and Gaurang will stay where there is anger. So that's beautiful. But sometimes yes, love is the more, I think, the efficient way to in the upbringing of children also. But because doing anger, it's sometimes when we are doing anger, the vibration has completely changed the whole whole atmosphere. But sometimes only the requesting mode do not affect. So sometimes not in heart, but we have to appear that, okay, I am angry. If you will not do this work, that I become angry. And so we have to show that type of attitude. Sometimes so is this allowed to do that?
To show anger sometimes in request mode, something I didn't get in the last.
Yes, sometimes the requesting mode do not work, and we have to show, okay, I am not angry in my heart really, but I have to show her that, okay, if you will not do that, I become an angry. So we have to appear that, okay, I am very angry, and you have to do that work. Otherwise, Mama will become angry. But so sometimes it works. But my question is that, okay, I just creating that I will angry, not in my heart, but she will take it as that, okay, when the work will not occur, that we have to take the angry mode. So is it right to do this?
Yes, sometimes we have to show anger, but anger should be restricted to show displeasure than to show hatred. There is a sima or limit unto which anger can be used to show our displeasure. but there is a वो पार करेंगे तो वो थोड़ा द्वेष हो जाएगा, द्वेष, hatred. So anger should be used with very cautiously, and sometimes we should show anger. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also showed little anger in the beginning. Kutasva kashmana vidam vishame samupastitam anarya justam asvargyam akirtikaram arjuna. Is a little anger, but that anger is shown in a displeasure, not as a hatred to Arjuna. So we being parents, we being elders, or in this way, we can restrict to show our anger until displeasure, to show that I am not pleased by this action, not that I hate you. So this we have to take care, and we should make it as not a persisting anger. Persisting anger will spoil the relationship. So the anger should be very short period, just to show that we are not happy. That is important, because those who are trying to please us, anger is a way to show that I am not pleased. And love is also. So anger and love both are love. So if we show only to show that I am displeased, but I still love you. So I still love you is by keeping the anger for short period. But anger to show I am displeased. So we have to keep in that sima, in that field of just showing the displeasure, not the hatred.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Maharajji.
Thank you very much. Now we'll Maharajji, your reflection is completed. The song you wanted or anything else?
Okay, thank you for unmuting. I'm not angry. Yes, song will definitely. But regarding this self-centeredness, this causes anger. So in our program, I reflect one thing. Shyamchandra Prabhu was really hard pressed because so many conflicting requests were made to him, and he really wondered who to sacrifice, who to give the priority. So when one gives up the priority that what I want to do is more important than others, actually one remains the loser. This I realized. When you let go, then the better situation comes up, because we are stuck in our present moment so much. We cannot see the better moment is on the way. By giving the self-insistence, my way, or this is what I want to do. This I has to be dissolved. And okay, if somebody thinks something is better, and if it is not so absolutely important to do, I can let go. Then the better situation comes. Next day, we got better opportunity to sing that song for the pleasure of Guru Maharaj. So that reflection is very much encouraging, that by accepting our Shyamchandra's request, okay, let it go. I said, okay, let it go.
Okay, so I would like to first thank our Shyamchandra Prabhuji. He did such a wonderful job. Without him, it is not exaggeration. This function of installing Guru Maharaj Murti would have not been possible actually. Though there may be, because he cannot satisfy everybody, because he is not Krishna. Even Krishna cannot satisfy Hiranyakashipu. Finally, Krishna had to take care of him. So, but Shyamchandra Prabhuji has done wonderful job. I think Guru Maharaj give him special blessings for this seva.
Yeah.
And he hardly showed any anger in the event. So this kind of anchoring we want, without showing any anger. Very wonderful. Now let us go to Pitambar Prabhuji. Pitambar Prabhuji is still available for us. Pitambar Krishna Prabhuji. Hari Bol. Let us unmute him.
Yeah, Maharajji. What is the song?
Gurudev Krupa Bindu.
Gurudev Krupa Bindu Diya Kanoye Dase Tunapecha Dina Gurudev Krupa Bindu Diya Kanoye Dase गुणापेक्षातीना सकल सहने बल दिया कर सकल सहने बल दिया कर निज मन स्पृहाहीना निज मन स्पृहाहीना गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया पर यही दासे तृणापेक्षा सकल सन्मान करिते सकति देहनाथ अजथ सकल सन्मान करिते सकति देहनाथ যথা যথ তবে তো গাইব হরিনাম সুখে অপরাধ হবে হত অপরাধ হবে হত কবে হে না কৃপা লবিয়ায়ে জান কবে হে না কৃপা লবিয়ায়ে জান কৃতার্থ হইবে না তো শক্তি বুদ্ধিহীন আমি অতি দিন করম রে আত্মসাৎ করম রে আত্মসাৎ गुरुदेव जगता विचार किछु नाही तुम्हारा करुणा सा करुणा ना होइले कांदिया कांदिया करुणा ना होइले कांदिया कांदिया प्राण ना रखिबो गुरुदेव प्राण ना रखिबो गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया और हीरा से अपेक्षा सकल सहने फल दिया कर निज मान गुरुदेव सकल सम्मान करिते सकति देहनाथ যথাযথ তবে তো গাইব হরি নাম সুখে অপরাধ হবে হত गुरुदेव कबे न कृपा लभियाए जन कृतार्थ हइबे ना शक्ति बुद्धिहीन आमी अति दीन करम रे आत्मसात जगता विचार किछु नाही पा तुम्हार करुणा सार करुणा ना होइले कांदिया कांदिया करुणा ना होइले कांदिया कांदिया प्राण ना राखिबो प्राण ना राखिबो गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया कर हे हीरा अपेक्षा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. जय श्री प्रभुपाद जय गुरु महाराज समस्त वैष्णव आचार्य भक्त वृंद के जय वंशा
जय हो प्रभु जी, बहुत सुंदर है। एक बार ट्रांसलेशन पढ़ लेते हैं 2 मिनट के अंदर और कंक्लूड करेंगे।
हरे कृष्ण।
गुरुदेव, ओ स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर, give to this servant just one drop of mercy. I am lower than a blade of grass. Give me all help. Give me strength. let me be as you are, without desire or aspirations. I offer you all respects, for thus I may have the energy to know you correctly. Then, by chanting the holy name in great ecstasy, all my offenses will cease. When will such mercy fall to this one who is weak and devoid of intelligence? Allow me to be with you. If you examine me, you will find no qualities. Your mercy is all that I am made of. If you are not merciful unto me, I can only weep, and I will not be able to maintain my life. Hari Bol. So, your mercy is all that I am made of. This reminds me, Guru Maharaj offering to Srila Prabhupada, that Srila Prabhupada, your mercy is all that I am made of. So, shall we conclude now? We are already 9:20.
Yes, Maharaj.
And more we will hear in coming classes from our Prabhujis, Maharajis, and other devotees. वांछिकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिंधुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समस्त भक्त वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रीपाद संगी गण की जय हो।
Hare Krishna. His Holiness Bhakti Sarvaswat Maharaj ki jai. Thank you all for joining. See you all in tomorrow's class. Hare Krishna.